kind of being agile and really like he knows his weapon and he's just like this complete badass. And I love that you see his development through his flaws. Like he's this guy who's never been on the front lines, he's kind of a pussy, and through all of these failed attempts he finally gets it. And so he's kind of redeemed by the end of this because he's turned into a badass in a way that somebody who repeatedly plays video games is a badass, because you become so good at that repetition because you have muscle memory. Yes, muscle memory, exactly. And so that's where this film kind of hits the nail on the head in a very, very different kind of way cinematically. And I like that. What are we doing next, sir?
Let's hit that interview, man. Okay. I'm excited to hear this.
All right. Check it out. It's Hollywood XYZ from the Vault.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, definitely not. You know, it's so challenging wearing the suits, and it's something that you can get used to. I don't know if it's ever we really conquered the idea of just traipsing around in the suits, but they were such a cool. They had such a cool look, and I think it was essential to the story that they weren't CGI'd in or painted in. You know, I think they alter the way you move and in such a dramatic way, and so it was cool coming up with all the stunts and in which way you could use them to their greatest advantage. And
well, just I was in it for like 2 minutes, and I felt.
Did you cry?
Just afterward.
Yeah.
I mean, you must have really got. I know you're always in shape. I don't know.
Look, you got to.
How dare you?
But
did you see that? He went, you're always at you.
He does a lot of action movies, and he's always in shape.
Emily, you're always a bit.
But you got fit.
But I got fit for this one.
No, look, I mean, it took it was very unique we had to get in a different kind of shape for this kind of thing, and I spent a lot of time with the research and developing ahead of time this suit to see, what is possible, what is that action going to be like, and really to develop the character of that suit and develop, look at how's the character in the film and the characters, how are they going to develop throughout the film. So I got in very early on that.
What did you have to do to just get it? Because you must have had a regime or something.
I did, yeah.
From start to finish, rebuilt it from the ground.
Yeah, God, because she needed it. It's like Formula One. No, I trained for 3 months beforehand, so I transformed from being enormous to being, just kidding. No, I did do a lot of different kinds of training, like gymnastics and Krav Maga and sprinting and weight training. All of it.
It paid off.
Thank you.
The one thing I didn't realize, you don't. Those things aren't hydraulic. They are in the movie, but not in real life. So,
no.
But I think that is one of the reasons they could lose the war, though, because you wouldn't. That's what I was thinking.
You're like, no wonder they're losing the war. Yeah.
But, the concept, dying every day, that's just kind of a strange thing. You have an advantage, because there's a little love story there, sort of. Yeah. Because it's your sided love story, because she doesn't know who you are.
Yes. Yeah. We thought there was such an interesting dynamic for a love story, to have one character have known the other for hundreds, possibly thousands of days, and for me to have just met him that morning.
And of course, her character is the only one that really understands and knows what he's experienced.
It does unite them, that they are the only two people in the world who this has happened to,
But you see the spark in you. I mean, in that one day, even though it's the same, over and over, there's something
and that's also to earn that journey and earn that there is a potential for that. And it's, that's what I loved about the concept in the beginning, because I thought it lent itself to, and Doug and I talked, he loved that, I love that, and he came to me with this, and just thought it lent itself to something that can be adventurous, moving, and for me, that kind of, I found very, very funny. First of all, playing this unlikely hero, this guy who, not in a million years would he ever see himself on that beach. It's just not in his fabric as a human being to be out there. And then you have that journey that he ends up, trying to blackmail a general who wants to send him to the beach, and then he gets sent. that just lends itself to really fun story.
And you get to kill him
so many times.
No.
She's just a merciless
she
murderer.
She just loved it. It was like she was like, I think we got it.
I always thought she was operating from a practical level. She's a practical murderer. If he's lost his,
she didn't even think of it as murder. It was like just resetting.
Like just resetting. Like he's broken his leg. He's useless to her today. So let's just start again. Because
it's like a horse.
That training. I love training scenes in movies. I love them, and I love sequences, so cool. And I've done them and to do it in various different ways. In Samurai but this one was, I thought, this is going to be so much fun because we're coming up with how many different ways can this guy die or get injured.
What's the most violent way that he can die?
And I was saying to this Doug as we kept working on it, Doug and I was finally like, look, this is Wile E. Coyote, this is Bugs Bunny. It's like we've got to have, spin me around, throw me in the wall, and it becomes, humorous at that point. Sorry. Sorry.
A lot's happened to you since you wrapped this movie into today.
Yes.
How is everything? How is motherhood?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's lovely. It's lovely.
Different than you thought, or?
I mean, more. Because I don't know if it's anything you can plan for. It's such an incredibly existential, crazy thing, and I love it. I love it.
There we go.
Nice. I liked it. Yeah, they seem like they had fun filming it.
Yeah, well, they definitely have a good rapport together.
Yeah,
their chemistry on screen was awesome.
Yeah,
and I think
even off screen with them in the interview.
Yeah, just very natural.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I really like that. Tom Cruise was so into kind of building the mech and kind of understanding the physics, like if this would really work in real life, and
that's why
technology.
I feel like he's one of the few that really I feel like he's at this point not doing it for the money anymore. He's
doing it to learn or to have fun, just to enjoy making the movie.
Yeah,
and I think that's why most of his movies that he's a huge part of are successful, or you really are enjoyable at least. Because he's put his heart into it.
That's true.
Yeah. He does like all of his stunts.
Yeah.
Like 90% of his stunts.
That's actually one of my swan facts.
He's like the Jackie Chan of American actors.
Pretty much, yeah. He refuses to let anybody.
He's like, no, I got this.
And it's something wild.
Yeah.
Like he tore his
Achilles, right?
Yeah.
In Fallout
for the new one.
Yeah.
And they show that in the trailer.
You can see his leg bend, or his ankle bend way too much, and it's like, oh shit.
And he gets up and he keeps running.
Yeah.
Because it's like he tries to scale a building.
Yeah. He tries to jump over this huge gap in between two buildings, and
he makes it.
Yeah. He gets his arm, basically the upper half of his body, hits the edge, and then his feet, you can see his foot kind of bend really awkwardly if you slow it down. I know you can probably find the video on YouTube of Tom Cruise getting injured, but
he gets up and he continues the scene.
Yeah,
and he sprints full force,
so
man. Crazy. He's nuts. But I mean, I think we've said this on here before. When you have the kind of money that he has, he can rebuild himself too. So I mean, he's not worried.
He's like, "I'll fix me good."
And then in the other one, he's really scaling the fucking tallest building in the world too. The tower.
Oh, the one in
was Ghost Protocol or the one before?
It was in Abu Dhabi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing that.
That glass building, yeah. That's so insane. He was actually
when he's sliding on the
when he's on the plane, the big ass military plane that's taking off. Mm-hmm. He was actually attached to it. That was him holding on to the wheel of the plane as it was taking off. He's like, this is gonna be fun. And the insurance guys on this are probably like, fucking Tom, man. God damn it, why did I have to sign on? That's gotta be so crazy for production companies, and it's his production company, but his advisors and stuff,
they've got to be used to it by now.
Just Tom, just
slow it down.
You're 47. Just let's let this stunt guy do this.
Is he really only 47?
I think he's something I want to say he's mid 40s, mid to late 40s.
Really? So you're saying Brad Pitt is older than him?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, Brad Pitt doesn't look old either.
Yeah, but he's 54.
Is he?
55.
I don't know.
Yeah.
If anybody knows, email us.
Right. You want to do Swan Facts?
Yeah, let's do it, man. Oh yeah, man, that sounds so good.
What's up, Vic?
Oh yeah, thanks, man.
Admiral Atlas.
Yeah, check him out.
So this film bombed at the box office.
Yeah, which is crazy. We mentioned that before.
It had a budget of $178 million, and it grossed just about $100 million.
Oh man, yeah.
So
Didn't
that's
clear.
a cold bomb.
Yeah. Didn't even make it back.
Right?
That's insane.
Although I don't know what it did on the home video. It could have...
Like its total gross?
Sometimes, yeah, they can salvage things with the video release. I know people really were drawn to this later on once it was released on video.
Kind of like me.
It's gained a huge cult following, which is probably why they're doing another one.
Yeah.
This is actually based on a manga called All You Need Is Kill by Hiroshi Sakurasaka.
Okay. I'm pretty sure you said that right.
Yeah, I tried. The default language set up for Cage's suit is Japanese. This is a reference to the manga.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Tom spent $100,000 on a wrap party for the film, although he didn't attend as he was busy finishing his scenes for the film.
Oh my god.
What a guy.
It's like, here's a party, guys, we're done filming, but I'm gonna go film some other
stuff. Here's a party that cost as much as the film.
God. What the fuck? That's just how much he has to. Oh, so I found this extra $100 million in my back pocket. We'll just throw a party. I think we're done filming.
Yeah, fuck it.
God damn.
I'm not gonna go to the party. That's
fuck that. I'm gonna go film some more stuff.
I'm too busy to rap.
God.
The filmmakers explained the film as a cross between Starship Troopers and Groundhog's Day.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool twist.
Actually, it obviously it's part of a subgenre where you could do like source code, which we've covered on this show, which is similar to this.
Yeah,
it's got a sci-fi kind of vibe to it as well. Time travel, and then Happy Death Day, which came out last year,
which I haven't seen. I want to see it so bad.
Yeah, that's it follows this genre of a young. This was actually going to be one of my. We'll throw this in as a bonus rec.
Okay.
But Happy Death Day is actually a very cool thriller.
Yeah,
with like some horror vibes to it. It's kind of like a stylish slasher.
Okay.
Where this girl, she ends up getting killed at a party or something, and she wakes up in this random guy's bed, and she has to relive this this kind of scenario where she gets murdered until she can figure out who it is who's murdering her and stopping it, and then she's hoping that will stop this chain of how do you say, waking up?
Yeah.
Every day.
Repeating everything.
Yeah, reliving the same day all the time.
Yeah.
So it kind of falls in line with this film. Happy Death Day, check it out.
Definitely.
That's a bonus rec.
Oh, yeah. You're welcome.
Doug LeMan took on the project because he liked that Tom was taken out of his comfort zone as far as character-wise. Whereas his character in this film is very much a coward and not really good at anything.
Yeah.
And as we all know, he usually plays somebody who's a professional.
Yeah.
He has the a very direct kind of thing he's supposed to get done, or like an agenda.
Yeah.
And in this one,
it's pretty cool seeing him be a different person.
That's probably why I was drawn to this, because it's so different. Tom did all of his own stunts, as usual, for this picture. Brad Pitt was actually considered for Bill Cage.
Oh, okay.
The film takes place in 2020, which is actually not that far.
It's pretty scary, man. Watch out for those meteors. Comet coming down.
Guillermo del Toro worked on the design of the mimics initially, but the concept had been changed a variety of times before we finally saw the kind of the finished product in the movie. He really had nothing to do with that version.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
I really like the way they look, though. They're kind of, you know.
Yeah. Pretty kind of.
I like the way they moved. Kind of like really like motion capture, kind of like quick.
Yeah, very fun.